Hey, hey, we're the monkeys. Something about monkeying around. So I always play on hard with AI difficulty unless I'm going for a long achievement like the najd achievement, so I have to turn that off. Najd. 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 Najd, I say. Najd, I say. We are back. We are going for the Jihad achievement, which is to conquer all of India, Asia, Russia, the Arabian Peninsula, and Africa as a desert people named Najd, who have 3 development plus 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 3 development 3 3 3 3. So they're tiny desert, and their total income is 2.5, almost all of it from taxation, no production or trade. They can hardly afford to run 7 troops. Actually almost all of their income comes from the default 1 ducat that everyone gets. Like, they have 1.5 income plus the default 1 ducat that everyone gets. So, first thing we're going to do, obviously... Oops, I thought I was going to delete my forts, but we don't even have any forts. We don't even start with forts. That's how awesome we are. Ooh, and I start with 6 ships. That's a lot more than I used to start. Actually, I start with a lot more than I used to start in a lot of ways. Okay, good. So, my rival will obviously be Yemen, and Oman, and Hejaz, and I will take the quest to attack Oman. And then I will ally my neighbors. Oop. The Mamluks they don't start off super friendly like they usually do. Neither do the Timurids. Radal always starts off friendly. Like, we were like historical friends, right? Enemy of enemy +1 monthly. These guys all start off friendly because they're the same religion and they're enemy of enemy. Alright. Well, we'll ally these 2 guys. And then Warsingal later. Hey, Warsingal. Nice to be your friend. Okay, so now we have 3 allies. Let's see if they want to attack Oman together. Distant war, distant war, distant war. They don't care. What about Yemen? They would help me kill Yemen, but Yemen allied Ormuz and Ajuran, which is this guy, very strong. And I don't know about Ormuz. What's this Ormuz you keep talking about? I don't see Ormuz. Is Ormuz something I haven't even discovered yet? Okay, well, anyway. Start converting our provinces and focusing on military things and taking quests. We have rather high revolt risk for someone who just started. Like, my people aren't happy with the nothing that I have not changed. And same culture and religion. How do they have revolt risk? Maybe they don't. Maybe it's just wrong. Yeah, it says they have revolt risk, but I think it's lying. I don't think they do have revolt risk. Liwa. It says Liwa has 3 revolt risk. Oh, it's the wrong religion, so it looks like we got several wrong religion provinces. And our king just died, and we got our 222 heir up in here. We got a 226 heir after that. Royal marriage from Adal. I'm going to work on becoming friends with the Mamluks because that's my goal. I have heard, though I've not actually played in this part of the world since the expansion came out, the Forts expansion called Common Sense. But I have heard that the Mamluks are much stronger now because of the way forts work. They no longer just die to the Ottomans because they have a fort here. Any fort will protect its adjacent territory from pushing past it. So if you put a fort here, and a fort here, then there's no way for the Ottomans to come down without sieging down all 3 forts. So the Mamluks can like really bide their time, rally their allies, and fight as one concerted ginormous army instead of having to be instantly suiciding into the Ottomans like they used to. We plan to maintain as low of a piety as we can, and we plan to keep our fleet just because if we get rid of our fleet, then it'll give us a make a fleet quest, and I don't like that quest. It takes the spot of a real quest. So Oman has no allies. I think normally if you attack Oman, then they ally Hejaz and call them in. Hejaz is allied to the Hassa. Yemen is the one with real allies. They're allied to Juran, Ormuz, and Shemar. I know I've played Ormuz before. They must be over here in Africa. But yeah, until we can ally the Mamluks, we're not going to do anything. Take it nice and slow in the very, 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 very beginning. Timmy Tim 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 Timmy 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 Tim Timmy Tim 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 Timmy 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 Tim Timmy 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 Tim Timmy Tim Tim Tim. What? I have 4 diplomatic relations? No, I don't. Oh, I royal married the Mamluks. Ooh, and my max relations is only 3. It used to be 4. Why is it down to 3? Who knows? So people are less likely to ally you the more allies you have. That did not used to be true. Used to be that you could ally like literally everyone in the game and they would all be fine with it. Especially if you were Austria, like bam. Take diplomacy and influence as Austria and you can ally the whole world. Everyone but your rivals.
All you have to do is water the garden.
Alright. Let's see if the Mamluks want to kill anyone for me. Nope. 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 Alright, they're probably still defensive attitude. Yeah, but my friends will help me beat up Shemar. Mamluks would help me with QQ. I'll fabricate against my neighbors while I'm waiting. Gotta wait for the Mamluks to decide that I'm their best friend. For now, they have this defensive attitude towards me, right? The little bird of defensiveness. But they could be convinced if we are lucky. So my plan for this game is, assuming the Ottomans kill the Mamluks, which I think they will, even though I've heard that the Mamluks do better against them, I don't think that means they survive. I will ally the Ottomans. Now, if you ally the Ottomans, they get quests for everything down to here and down to here. So you can't take any of that land. So I will just use ships to go to India and just stick with India and be nice to the Ottomans. If the Mamluks beat the Ottomans, I will stay allied to the Mamluks and take over all of QQ and Timurids and probably Ottoman territory. Because it's so rich and awesome and fun to take. Alright. I'm going to start a war with Shemar now because all of my friends told me that it would make them happy. Ooh. Ooh. They allied Ormuz. Everyone's allying Ormuz. What is this Ormuz stuff? Where is Ormuz? The heck? And Yemen. So it looks like Shemar allied Yemen. And Yemen is fighting Oman. So let's fabricate a claim against Yemen. We should probably attack Oman since they don't have any allies and they're losing a war. Yeah, we're going to attack Oman. If they ally someone, then I will die. And dying is a good strategy too. I'm not a big fan of my king's ruling ability, so if he dies in battle, then I won't miss him. Shia Zealots, the rebel faction that we're currently pissing off, are not super scary. So I'm not going to try to avoid pissing them off just yet. If they revolt, all that happens... if they revolt, all that happens is... that I can no longer convert provinces for 5 years or something. Like, they don't actually do damage or kill anyone or cost me any prestige or anything like that. I think this is a level 3 fort. I can't even siege that level 3 fort. It takes 9 troops, and I only have 7. So we're going to leave a troop here and then go loot the province. But I think you can loot the province without being able to siege the fort. I could be wrong. Yep, we're looting the province. We're not sieging the fort. Good times. Looks like this new province, Ormuz. Ah, this is Ormuz. Rich center of trade in between the Timurids and Oman. That's cool. Hey, Ormuz. So if I sell my von Horsingtons, I might be able to fund up to 10, up to 9. Von Not-So-Horsingtons. Our navy is under attack by Oman. I think we need to retreat. Oman has national ideas that make it better at navying, so let's not risk a fight with them. Oh wait, never mind. I shouldn't have fled. Well, whatever. Can always come back. Let those guys take the brunt of the damage. Yeah. None of that, Ormuz and Oman. So we're just going to blockade these straits so that Ormuz can't do anything and Oman's army can't rejoin us. And then we'll send everyone to go siege the siege paradise. The siege paradise and put up a parking lot. Hey, na 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 na. I think we got it. Come on. Yeah, we are sieging the tower. Great. We finished fabricating a claim against Yemen. Now we want to fabricate against Hijaz and the Hassa. Then we'll have a claim against everyone around us. Adal is dying to Ethiopia while staying married to us and not asking us for help. I guess they correctly judged that we wouldn't help them. Interesting thing, possibly worth noting. The AI decides whether or not to call you into war. The same way they decide whether or not to call other AIs into war is they decide how much war exhaustion, how much loans you have, and how much you like them, or whatever. And then they say, I think this guy would answer the call, so I'm going to call him. And they won't risk calling you if they don't think you're going to answer. So if you're like currently sieged up by 1 billion guys, they're not going to call you into war. But what that means is you can take out a bunch of loans. Like if you take the economic ideas to lower your interest rate and then become Pope to lower your interest rate even more, and then you get forgive usury from the Pope to forgive interest rate even more, you can get your interest rate down to like 1%. And then you can just take out like $20,000 of loans and then just keep those $20,000 in the bank, and you only have to pay 1% interest per year on it. So then no one will ever call you in to fight. So your allies will just die and not bother you. Those are the best kind of allies, the ones that die without bothering you. So yeah, like I said, those rebel faction, all they do is tell me to stop converting provinces, which I'm totally fine with.
Avocados taste like rock.
They taste like avocados. I like them. They are especially good with cream cheese, butter, and some kind of meat. But even though they are very tasty, we don't eat them because they're tasty. We think of them as like a vitamin. You know, they have things in them that are very healthy, called fat and fiber. All right, we sieged up Oman 95%. Now, theoretically, I might be able to vassalize Oman, but I don't know if that's going to be a good plan. We'll take one province and vassalize them. Should probably take more than one province.
Okay,
we'll take all of their provinces and vassalize them. Yeah.
Why is their font so tiny?
Yeah. Now we have the richest fort in all the land. But we're also at war with Ormuz and Yemen. But that's okay because Ormuz and Yemen are not super strong. Ah! Flee, ships, flee.
What are you doing?
Okay. No, all of you. Not just some of you.
Careful. Don't do that with your face.
Why? It doesn't do anything. I'm making a computer.
Okay, I said stop, please.
Huh. Alright, anyway, big question. How much AE did that give me? Almost none. Nobody cares about Oman. Wow. Wow. Next question. How much Liberty Desire? They've got...
It's actually smoothing.
no Liberty Desire. Najd is so much more powerful now than they used to be. This tells them to embargo my rivals and will improve relations with them and royal marry them.
If you watch this, you're gonna keep present.
Wow, this is a much easier start than I'm used to. I'm gonna sell this because who pays for forts these days? It's just silly. I have found that forts give your enemy tons of war score against you and an easy place to defend against you because they rush straight to your fort, siege it up, and then you have to counterattack them, which sucks. Like, I don't want to attack into them. I want them to attack into me. So I always sell all my forts. I never use forts. All right. Let's go to the desert and see what's there. Like, if we rushed to Sena, we could just defend that fort and they'd be forced to attack into us. I mean, it's a desert, so I'm not gonna go stand in the desert, but you know what I mean. Placate the Timurids. Naval race against Jazz. Naval race against a Jazz. That just requires me to build one. Alright, let's see. Galleys cost 0.03. Barks cost more. But barks can protect trade, but they cost more initially too. We'll build 3 galleys. Yeah. I think part of the reason that Oman has so much loyalty is because they're fully sieged by Yemen. Once they actually build an army and a navy, they might have much less loyalty. We got lots of provincial unrest over here too. So let's increase autonomy. Bloop.
Whoa.
Why is this guy trying to protect trade? I know that I want to do eventually to protect trade, but I didn't mean during the war. Malachi! Alright, so how much loot do these places have? Not much. I'll just wait 2 days. Eat all their loot and then go attack the next provinces. No, he's gonna do the same thing to me. Man, the najd start is so easy now. It must have been najd, but it's over now. You were all that I najd, but I najd it somehow. Alright, revolt risk is a serious problem. But I got too much overextension to pay down my stability.
Right? Yeah.
So we gotta core all that, probably fight 1 or 2 revolts, and then we can finally up our stability. The Omani separatists will definitely be revolting though. And we're going to put all our men in the desert because that's what these wars want us to do. We're taking tons of attrition. 300 men per second of attrition. Oops. No. We need another galley. No, we don't. When I improved, or when I granted local autonomy to these naval provinces, my force limits decreased. Alright, Mamluks like me. I can call them in against Yemen. I don't need them, but that's awesome that I can call them against Yemen. Let's fabricate more against Hormuz and Shamar, and I think I'm gonna get all of Arabia, like, in the first 4 years. I am not used to it being this easy. I mean, getting all of Arabia was always guaranteed, but getting it this quickly, it's crazy. Malik, I know. So as soon as Yemen, I don't know, should I vassalize Yemen too? I'm a little confused because Liberty Desire with Oman is low because they have 3 provinces. But if I vassalize Yemen without taking their provinces, then Liberty Desire will prevent me from doing anything useful. But if I don't, then I have to fight Yemen again later. Which is not like that'll be hard or anything, but I don't know. It feels like this is an easy conquest, I should just take it. Or I could spend a ton of Diplo points and just take all of their land. Inflation or stability? Stability. Definitely look at those 80% revolt risk Omani separatists coming out. Alright, we've cored some stuff. They want to give us 1 province. So we could just plain old vassalize them. Or we could vassalize them and take lots of provinces. We can actually full annex them. Screw vassalization, let's just full annex them. We can afford it, because it's the desert. We changed the way this worked. I'm just gonna full annex Yemen. Wow, I might not have even had to have vassalized Oman. I probably could have just taken all of Oman's provinces, but they were at the time sieged up by Yemen still. It's amazing. Alright, so let's... Oh, I should have upped stability before I took these provinces, because now I have to wait until I core them to buy stability. Alright. I may have to convert to Shia. I have so many Shia provinces now. Let's go over and fight the Omani separatists and we'll kill this fort. We don't need forts. Jazan owned by Najd. Where's Jazan? Ah, there it is. Yeah, why not? We'll take the quest to attack Hijaz, and then we will indubitably attack Hijaz. Hijaz is allied to the Mamluks. So we're having some power projection issues. We've got tons of power projection, but in order to get more, we've got to beat up Hijaz and Ethiopia and the QQs. I think we can attack the QQs right now. Oh, we don't have a CB against QQ, and even if we did, apparently the Mamluks are fighting a war. Malachi, you're just constantly making annoying noises for no reason. If you want to do that, do it in a different room. It's annoying me. No noise. Quiet. I'm okay with making annoying noises in other rooms, but not this one. Alright, peasants war on the way because we ran out of manpower. Sure, sure. I don't think we're going to be able to avoid that. That's super scary. We need upper stability and lower our overextension. So basically, we need as much admin as we can get our hands on. I'm not sure I need to be allied to any of these guys anymore. Yeah. These alliances aren't helping me and they're costing me Diplo. Oh good. They agree. I think I'm gonna stick with Worsengal and ditch Adal. Oh, we got royal ties to them and them. Well, since we're royal married, we'll keep the alliance until we're not royal married anymore. Oh, we got 90% towards Omani separatist revolt in several provinces. We could spend military power to pay it down. Like if this peasants war fires, it's going to cost us a ton of admin. It'll cost us roughly 700 admin if the peasants war fires, so I'm willing to spend about 600 military power to avoid it. Let's see if defunding increases the rate of the peasants war coming. Nope, they don't mind if I don't fund my army. Good, because I don't like funding my army. It must have been defunding my army, but it's over now. Alright, Mamluks, let's be friends. So I'm gonna keep paying down rebels. Oh! -3 stability, awesome. So much admin required. Oh boy. This is gonna be really tech expensive. I could probably feed several of these provinces to Oman, because Oman's liberty desire isn't going to be an issue, I don't think. They've changed the value of provinces so much that I don't think anyone minds being my vassal anymore. Najd is actually quite powerful now, because of the +1 income from being an independent nation.
What is that? It's a mouse. Wait, look, this is a mouse.
Like, Oman is probably making $2 a month, maybe less. And if each division that they want to recruit costs them $10, and they already had loans from losing that war, and like it's going to be forever until they're powerful enough to be rebellious. Come on, admin points, you can do it. So normally, I try to connect my capital to Africa and India by moving it up to Iraq or something. But I've noticed that the Ottomans get a quest for Iraq if they conquer Damascus, this province, which is 22 development. So of course they're going to try to conquer it. Then they get a quest to get all of the Levant, they call it, basically Iraq. And when that happens, they'll cut ties with me no matter what. So I'm going to avoid this land and go into India now. So from here, I think I'm going to attack Baluchistan, or I might go straight to Africa. I've heard, especially since it's going to count as overseas, since I'm not going to get the provinces necessary to connect to it, I've heard that African provinces and just colonization provinces in general are so worthless now that they've changed development. Because buildings compound with development. So you really want to stack all your buildings and all your development into one province and make that province super powerful. And no one's ever going to pick a province in Africa for that. So basically it's not even worth building any buildings down there. It's not worth developing any provinces down there. So they're all going to stay 1-1-1. So 3 development for the entire game. So it's like everything you get down there is just waste. Because it adds revolt risk to your nation without giving you any money or any force limits or anything. Okay, so it's going to cost us... We've got so much religious disharmony. It's going to cost us like 700 admin to get to +1 stability if we're in a peasants' war, which we will be in shortly. I don't think there's any way to avoid the peasants' war unless we can get our manpower high enough. QQ versus Mamluks obviously will come, but like I just said, we need manpower more than we need to beat up QQ, so we're going to go hide. And Yemeni separatists are going to need some harsh treatment. No, we're Senegal. We can now be abandoned. Good. Now we have the correct number of diplomatic relationships. 3 more years and then I can annex Oman too. In general, you get 75% autonomy from annexing a vassal, but you get no separatism, so reduced revolt risk. But if you up autonomy, you only end up with like, I think, 5 separate total revolt risk from separatism, because -10 from autonomy increased and +15 from separatism, and so after like 8 years, you're better off having annexed territory than fed it to a vassal and diplo-vassalized, whatever, diplo-annexed. Oh man, legitimacy is so important because of revolt risk, but admin power is important because we're trying to up our stability because of revolt risk. Everything comes back to revolt risk right now. It's kind of crazy. Quarantine. So the Mamluks are kicking QQ's butt. They saw... it looks like QQ's not even playing. Does QQ even have an army? Well, they don't need my help, and even if they did, I wouldn't help them, so... Anyway, this is our first najd attempt for Jihad after the Common Sense expansion, and I'll see you in a second.